Hi everybody, welcome back to LARP 101, and today we're going to be talking about LARP Bleed. Before I start, I just want to let you know that my next video is going to be the last LARP 101 video that I'm going to do for this series. And I'm going to be doing a QA to answer all of your questions about LARP. So if you have a question, please put it in the comment section below, or you can email the email address which I have put in the description below. Thank you so much to everybody who has sent in a question already. I'm going to try and answer as many of them as possible. Okay, let's get started on LARP Bleed. Okay, so bleed may be a bit of jargon that you may not be familiar with. Bleed is a commonly used term in role-playing to describe the crossover of thoughts and feelings between real life and your in-game persona. Because LARP stands for live action roleplay, bleed can often be a lot more intense. And this is due to the fact that you are experiencing what is happening to your character in real life, as opposed to having it described to you as a part of a tabletop roleplay, or as opposed to viewing it through a computer screen. Not all bleed is bad, however, you'll more often than not see the term be used to refer to negative emotions crossing over between the divide between LARP and real life. You can bleed into LARP, which is when you carry your real life emotions over into the game, and you can bleed out of LARP, which is when events in the game affect how you feel out of character. Bleed is a complicated thing because it can arise rather unexpectedly. Some people believe that if you play a character that is very similar to your real life persona, you will experience more bleed. However, it is also possible to experience bleed if you're playing someone entirely different from how you are in real life. If you are playing a character that is very unlike yourself, it can be that the reaction that you get from other people may be quite jarring. For instance, if you're playing, let's say, a school bully or an assassin character, to have people react very negative to you when you are naturally a very friendly and kind person can be quite overwhelming. And it is possible that you will carry that through outside of the LARP field. Some people actively try to avoid bleed, and they do so by putting up a mental block. Some people go out searching for bleed because they want to experience something beyond their usual persona and carry that forward into their lives. And some people, myself included, get bleed whether they want to or not. Because I don't necessarily experience bleed voluntarily, I do end up struggling to actually manage it. However, I do have a few techniques that I use to make handling my bleed a lot easier, and I'm going to share those with you now. If you're feeling uncomfortable out of character because of a LARP situation, you are perfectly within your rights to indicate that you're having a problem. You are under no obligation at all to suffer through something that makes you uncomfortable for the sake of other people's immersion. As I said in my LARP safety video, a lot of games now have in-game signals to allow you to indicate during playtime if you are having a negative experience or not. So if your game has them, make sure to learn them. And if your game doesn't have them, then there is no reason for you to not be able to turn around and go, I am out of character, uncomfortable with what is happening right now. No amount of immersion or gameplay is worth your physical or mental health. It is very possible that there is actually a designated mental health first aider already on site. So what I would advise is that when you arrive in the game, make sure you learn who that person is. And don't be afraid to go and have a break if you are feeling overwhelmed. I know many a LARPer who goes and takes a cup of coffee, will go and have a lie down, or even take a full-on nap in the middle of a game because they need a break. If you need a break, take one. Some games offer a debrief at the end of their event, and if one is being offered at the game you're attending, then I would advise that you go. The other people who will be there will be the other players from the game, and therefore when you describe your experiences, they will be able to empathise because they were there and understand what you were talking about. Being able to decompress may very well help you prevent from carrying a negative experience with you after you've left. And if you're not comfortable talking about your personal experiences of the game, I would still recommend that you attend that debrief, because listening to the experiences of other players may not only help you understand how you're feeling and the bleed you're experiencing, but will also possibly identify areas where you can help other people from preventing bleed themselves. If a LARP event has not gone the way you expected, it's really easy to get stuck on it after the event is over. So it is really important to wind down. Get home, have a shower, maybe grab a takeaway and put something on TV that'll make you happy. Do something that helps you separate your in-character persona from your out-character persona. Decide what you are going to do for your wind down before you even go to your event, and make sure you have everything prepared as much as you possibly can for when you get home, so you have to do as little as possible. Don't bother unpacking unless it is something really urgent. If like you've got a soaking wet bell tent or something like that, or soaking wet kit, because let's face it, nobody needs mold in their lives. But everything else can wait until tomorrow, because you need to have that time to get back into the real world space. Now, and I will admit this is due to a personal experience where I do not come off well. Don't rant on social media. It will absolutely cause drama. You will come off as incredibly petty, no matter how justified you feel. And frankly, even in the long run, it's not going to make you feel much better. But it is okay to rant. It is healthy to vent and get negative feelings off your chest and out of your system. Find someone that you 100% trust and is willing to let you vent. Acknowledge that some of the things that you are going to say are likely going to be incredibly unreasonable and completely skewed by your own perspective. And establish with whoever you're ranting to that anything you say does not go beyond the 4 walls from which you are discussing them. And then just go for it, because at the end of the day, once things are off your chest, they do become a lot easier to move past. That being said, please take note of my next point. If you are being bullied on an out of character level, it is incredibly important not to mistake it for LARP bleed, because bullying is not acceptable. It is very possible that others will dismiss you feeling bullied or harassed as you just having LARP bleed. So think through what you have experienced and identify exactly how it made you think and feel. If you feel that there was an out of character element to your negative experience, then please speak to your LARP organisers. Please explain to them why you feel that there was an out of character element to this incident that you had at their event, because bullying, harassment and discrimination are not acceptable in any community, let alone LARP. So if you have identified events, situations or people that are likely to give you LARP bleed, it is a really good idea to have a plan as to how to deal with them in the future, especially if you're likely to be encountering them again. Not everything is 100% avoidable, so it helps to know how you plan to manage it ahead of time. It is okay to walk away from people who make you uncomfortable, and it is okay to walk away from a situation that is making you anxious. You are not obligated to stick around just because it is a part of a role-playing situation. Make a physical list of any circumstances you think you may encounter during a LARP event, because seeing things like that written down makes them a lot easier to reinforce in your mind of exactly what you are trying to avoid. Make a plan with your friends, group or party as to what to do if you are having a negative LARP experience, because being prepared ahead of time makes things a lot easier to deal with when you are caught up in the heat of the moment, because a lot of things that happen in LARP are incredibly unexpected and will put you on the spot. So pre-planning will make these things easier. Okay, so it is only 2 weeks now until my Q&A. So if you do have any questions, please send them to the email address in the description box below or put them in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so that you can see all of my content in the future. I hope you're staying happy and healthy. I'll see you on a battlefield soon. Bye.